Hello, I am Juliana. For those who are new here, which means probably everyone, I work for the Open Information Security Foundation, writing software documentation and co-mentoring outreach interns, especially for our main tool, which is the open source network security and network monitoring tool Suricata. And today I've mainly been working on writing documentation for a patch on which I worked for the past days/weeks, and the code portion is sort of hopefully done. So now I think I started today really. I've moved on to updating our documentation to make sure we have we inform our users clearly of what to expect in terms of this new feature, which is this configuration here, and how this may or may not change what they see. And this was the goal with regards to this documentation. So document the setting itself. This is here. Then document the basic behavior, which is here, and then talk about what they could see and where to check for the discarded alerts. And this is this part. So what I'm doing now is I could probably say I have a V1. Sorry for the noise. It's very, very noisy. So let's say I have a V1. Just a moment. Okay, let's hope this is better. So as I have this V1 now, what I plan to do in this session, which will be certainly time constrained because I have a call in 15 minutes or so, is that I want to review all that I wrote, see if there's anything that I know I have to polish, and then wrap up and submit a pull request to have this hopefully ready for merge or for merging, in case the other parts are considered good enough. So that's what you can expect to see now. Let's go to it. So, packet alert queue settings. It is possible to configure the size of alerts of the alerts queue that is used to append alerts triggered by each packet. This will influence how many alerts would be perceived to have matched against a given packet. The default value is 15. If no value or an invalid setting is provided, the engine will fall back to the default. Impact on engine behavior. Internally, the Suricata engine represents each packet with a data structure that has its own alert queue. Okay, the max size of the queue is defined by packet alert max. The same rule can be triggered by the same packet multiple times. As long as there is still space in the alert queue, those are appended. Note that no other rules currently are also appended to the packet alert queue. I think I'm missing something here, not sure. Maybe something like same, but I already have same, so maybe not. Rules are queued by priority. I want to put a column here, yes. Rules are queued by priority. Higher priority rules will replace lower priority ones that may have been triggered earlier if Suricata reaches packet alert max for a given packet, also known as packet alert queue overflow. I think I can remove this. Let's just move on. Once the alert queue reaches max, we are at packet alert queue overflow, and we only append new alerts in case the rules have a higher priority ID. This is the internal ID attributed by the engine, not the signature ID. This may happen in two different scenarios. One, a higher priority rule is triggered after a lower priority one, and packet alert. I want to remove this because I've already mentioned it. And packet queue is at packet alert max. Lower priority rule is replaced in the queue. A lower priority rule is triggered, and the alert queue is already at packet alert max, already also good to remove. The rule is discarded without being appended. Discarded alerts stats. Both scenarios previously described will be logged as detect alert queue overflow in the stats log. I am missing a parenthesis here. Stats log and eve log, event stats, event type stats. In this excerpts from my stats log, one can read that 7 alerts were generated, 3 were kept in the packet queue, while 4 were discarded due to packets having reached max size for the alert queue. I think it's alright-ish. Let's fix the things that I noticed. Both scenarios previously described will be logged in the counter. Yeah, not necessary to say counter. In the stats logs. Are we together here? I think we are. Okay. What did I do? Go back, go back. So this in this excerpt from the stats logs. Yeah, I think in this example, I think it's more direct. We read that 7 alerts were generated, 3 were kept in the packet queue, while 4 no. 3 were kept in the packet queue, packet alert queue. Yeah, while 4 were discarded due to packets having reached max size for the alert queue. I think this is good. Once let's go here. I need a new level. What could it be? Packet alert queue overflow. That is annoying, right? There is probably some way of just selecting and putting something below. I don't know it yet. Once the alert reaches max, once the alert queue reaches its max size, we are at the packet alert queue. We are at packet alert queue yeah, let's leave it like that, and we potentially are, and we only append new alerts, and new alerts are only appended in case the rules have a higher priority ID. This is the internal ID attributed by the engine, not the signature ID. This may happen in 2 different scenarios. A higher priority rule is triggered after a lower priority one the lower priority rule is replaced in the queue. A lower priority rule is triggered the rule is discarded without being appended. It's just discarded. Add a note here for drop rules. This behavior does not mean that this behavior does not note that drop rules will triggered drop rules will have. Oh, is that wrong? How does one write triggered? Triggered, not triggered. 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 Looks good to me. I don't know what's wrong here. This behavior does not mean that, maybe because there are too many? Could be. Will have their action ignored. There is, could I say that we have a work in progress? Would have. IPS mode. Almost. No! No, I did not want to close it. I'm not sure of that. Well. I like this. Note that no alert rules currently are also appended to Yeah, I think I'm reaching a point where I'm not able to distinguish things very well, so we are probably good to go. One last thing. Yeah. Yeah, one more thing. Invalid setting. Okay. If oh darn mosquitoes. If an invalid setting or no value is provided, this is a bit weird, but I think it works in English, the engine will fall back. I think I'm overwording about this bit. Set spell. What is wrong here? I need more information. Vim set spell. Wait, highlight color. What does it mean? Spell mistakes have weird coloring. I want to use. I have to understand what it means. Otherwise, it's not so useful. Why do you think I'm not there? I was? Oh, it's a specific. I am using a spell checker in Vim and I find one feature very annoying. Errors are being highlighted with some weird color which is nowhere to be found in known terminal settings. I would like to change the highlight color to something else so it doesn't obscure the word, without changing my global font color. How can I configure this? The spellbad highlighting group should allow you to configure the appearance of misspelled words. Let's say you want them to be red on yellow background. Then you could add the following code somewhere in your vimrc file or in your color scheme file. But in any case, after the color scheme has set up the spellbad group, otherwise it would override your settings. So right, where do I find that? Stop! No, that's not it. Using spell checking in Vim, Mark Twain has been quoted as saying that he respected a person who could spell a word more than one way. That's interesting. Unfortunately, Twain's enthusiasm for creative spelling isn't widely shared today, at least in the professional world. That's true. If you need a little help in the spelling department but prefer the old school way of editing text, you can turn to Vim's spelling support. What is wrong with me? Support for spell checking was added in Vim 7. Before that, a few scripts. If you're new to Vim, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that part. You might not want to be that specific, or you might want a different region. If you're using Vim to write code and prose, you might want to turn spell checking on only in the local buffer. Okay, cool. Once you've set this, Vim will highlight misspelled words. If you're using Vim in text mode, you should see the entire word highlighted, or if you're using GVim, graphical I guess, you should see a squiggly underline for any word that is misspelled. Vim does more than just highlight misspelled words. It actually categorizes misspelled words. It also highlights rare words, words that aren't capitalized but should be, and words that have the wrong spelling for the specified region. For example, I've set Vim to check for US spelling, so it should highlight words that are spelled correctly in another region but might be considered incorrect for the local region. Vim uses different colors for each type of word. This may vary depending on the colors you have set up in your terminal or how you have GVim set up, but on my system I see misspelled words highlighted with red and an orange for rare words, blue for words that aren't capitalized, and so on. Getting tired of seeing the highlighting? You may want to turn spell checking off. If you're working with code or something like that, do not set spell highlighting off when you are working with code, or at least set it on at some point. Use the no spell directive to turn this off. Using spell checking? Oh, that's cool. Spell checking wouldn't be very useful if you didn't have any help correcting the misspelled words or a way to tell the program that the word is actually correct. Let's start with correcting words. To move to a misspelled word, use square bracket S and closed square bracket and open square bracket. The close command, blah, 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 blah. Okay, once the cursor is on the word, use, and Vim will suggest a list of alternatives that it thinks may be correct. For instance, if I highlight autocompletion and then use Z, I see something like figure 1. Oh, cool. Nice, nice, nice. I did not get the complete answer, but it's a start. Do I have to do it each time? Oh, I think it has to be. Where are we? Wait. Okay. What if vim is wrong and the word is correct? Use the zg command and vim will add to its dictionary. So let's zg. Awesome. What else? Let's move on to YAML. No, let's go back to YAML. GG. Awesome. Okay, but I want to check. Okay, this helps, but I still don't know what to do with words like in yellow. Yeah, well, that is copy. Well, I learned, maybe others did as well. What is wrong here? Is that because I don't know why we have it highlighted, but this is not the main thing now, so what do we have in the chat? Oh, a post for I to check later. Okay, let's go back. I have a goal to achieve and I only have 20 minutes. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's compile this one last time, make sure nothing breaks. See what this looks like. I'm not sure this will be accepted as this, but something should be said about that. So there it is. Now let's. So I have all of that, and for the packet alert queue settings, I want to have them together here. Just a moment. Oi. Pra mim tá tudo bem, eu não sei nada. Certo, porque ele tá lá em cima, eu não sei. Valeu por avisar. Certo. Eu tenho uma reunião, uma chamada às 4h30, mas ainda tem tempo. And I'm back, sorry. Okay, what did I stage? Oh, I should stage this as well, right? Because if I'm saying that one part should, let's yeah, I want to take this. Can I? Will you complain? Okay, so we have it here, and then we have this. Can we have that in just one go? I think it could, the whole thing could go in one go, but the landlord wants to, he's probably talking to you, but the landlord wants to turn off the power, the electricity, for just a bit, and he wanted to know if that would be alright. For like 5 minutes or so, it was done. And it happened. I just hope it did not break everything. I think it did. We'll soon find out. Yep, this will not go well. I think things broke, and we'll find out soon. Júlio falou com você? Júlio não falou com você, não?
Não.
Poxa, ele disse que ia falar com você.
Falou
Que ele ia ter que... ele precisava trocar o alarme. E... sim, ele disse que ia falar com você antes de desligar. É, a minha aqui...
a sua não é provavelmente.
é, morreu.
Eu mandei mensagem pra você no
Eu tava explicando. Você não ouviu, não?
Twitch.
Aham.
Eu vi daqui.
Sorte sua.
Não.
Ah. Tô? Eu tava na dúvida. Oh, so apparently part of the electricity went out, so I lost my monitor. I just hope it's not broken. No, the electricity went out, so you probably won't be able to see what I'm doing, I guess. Let's check. Yeah, you lost access to my screen. I was just staging things. What? I cannot hear you. But do you see that I'm changing things? Because I don't think you do. I'm doing stuff on... yeah, but I think it's not updating because I don't have anything. Yeah, it's gone. Oh well. Yeah, so I was just finishing things, on staging things. I'm sorry, but I'll keep doing it. And you won't be able to see it. That's kind of useless, right? What is the point if you cannot see my screen? Oh gee, oh gee, oh gee. Come back, electricity, I need you. I lost power. I don't have the power any longer. And I don't want to go about configuring things in OBS unless I did something like this. I'm trying something. And in OBS, I can probably change the screen capture to, now you don't see it, and I can can I decide what will show up here? No, I'm messing up. Yeah, it's a bit useless right now, folks. I'm sorry. That's because I'm trying to add. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to configure things. I don't want to just show everything. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have to wait because we do not have a second screen right now. And no, there's nothing really back because it's a fake screen and I'm not updating it. So it's, do you want to hear me talking? Do you want to hear a podcast while I edit the things without you being able to see what I do? Let's go for it. It will be a different experience. So before the power went out, I was saying that I think the rest could go in just one commit, and that's what I'll try to do. So I'll just stage everything with TIG and do a single commit with that. And it will be again doc user guide. And what will be the message? Explain packet alert queue overflow. Add a section explaining what is the engine behavior when we reach behavior when appending alerts. What happens when we reach packet alert max, and what Suricata logs in terms of stats for discarded alerts. And the task is 5178. I swear that I'm still doing things, even though you cannot see it. I'm waiting for power to come back. I have a meeting in 19 minutes. I just hope things will come back. So I have this task. Now I'm second guessing which task I should mention, because One of them is for the alerts themselves and the other is for stats, and I think I cannot mention both. Oh, this one is alright. I have a different... I might have to have different commits because we have there are two different tickets for it. One is for optimizing and the other is for the stats. Yay! So it's time to split the commit. Would I like to have that on screen? I would. Can I? I cannot. Oh well. Let's have cold coffee and ponder. As I said, I would keep narrating what I do. I'm now rebasing because I want to split a commit in two. So let's git rebase in interactive master. There's a fix up. That part is easy. I'll just fix up it. Then there's our break before the commit that I want to split. I'm stopping at the part where I want to split the commit. Now I think I'll go to Tig. This is where I never recall how to do things. This is exactly where I am stopped every now and again. But here I am. I can probably amend things now. Let's open the file and where do I have it? Not here. This I do know of folks who do not talk while they share their work, but I'm on the opposite continuum. I only talk and you don't see, well, you see my face, which is weird. Well, so let's do source. No, it's not source, it's doc. We are already at doc. User guide, configuration, Suricata YAML. Oh, where are you opened? Where are you opened? Did I lose you when I think I lost my terminal when we... No, it's on the other workspace. In the other? Alright, so we have this, which is the same file. And now I just want to have it... If I amend the commit, would that make a difference? That's what edit would give me if I tried to rebase. I have 10 minutes. Yay, and the internet is not, well, 5 minutes are not sounding like 5 minutes. I just like when that happens. So that is the part where I get, where I'm not totally comfortable with how I do things. And I spent so much time the other days trying to figure that out, to do it properly. I have to split things in two. I went back, I did the break. Now I can, oh, it's doing great actually. When I talk like that, it helps me. So my most focused moments of the day are when I'm streaming. So yeah, great. I check my phone less. I worry less about yeah, you can't see right now, but I was working on documentation, and right now I'm trying to split a commit in two because I have two different tasks, and I thought I could have them in just one commit, but I cannot. But it's a documentation for a patch that I wrote. And I was sharing my screen, but we lost power, and now you can only have my voice and my not so pretty face. But I recommend streaming for focus, as weird as that might sound. Oh, I love writing, so I'm okay with writing documentation. I think it's rather hard, harder than one would expect. Writing code is way more straightforward than writing documentation, but one has to do it. Oh, but do the documentation. It's important. That's how you get other users and developers to get into whatever you are doing. So it's just a step that has to be done. If you don't know how, just write a bullet list or try to tell a story, but try to have something. It's better than nothing. So long as it's not misleading, having something is better than not having anything at all, in my opinion, of course. But how do I split this? If I do, why do I keep getting stuck in this part? One thing that I read about writing documentation that helped me was to think about your audience. So for instance, in Suricata, we have at least, that's my alarm, I have 10 minutes to go to my call. We have users and we have developers who could be interested in our documentation. So we have at least these two types of audiences, then we have more types between these two. But we know that when we are writing to developers, we have to focus on code examples and sometimes performance and how to implement things. And when we are writing to users, then we have to talk about what will be the result of changing a specific configuration, or how do they find the logs, or you see, and that helps you because then you know what you should be focusing on. And yeah, that's it. Oh, user-friendly is, yeah, well, I would say try to understand what your users like, because different users will understand what is friendly differently, right? So that is also another issue. You have to truly understand your audience in order to connect with them and deliver what they are expecting. Unless you are doing something for you, then your users follow what you want to provide. Sort of say this live here. I'm doing it because it's important for me and because I want to share knowledge. So to some extent, my audience has to adapt to what I'm showing and not the opposite, if that makes sense. Yeah, it helps. It does. So I wish you good luck. I have some 3 minutes to try to rebase this thing. I'll try to focus before I have to drop for my call. But I just try to have some baseline on what is important for each document. Try to also have having a table of contents helps, because then you know what should be covered, and once you have that, you know that you have at least your version 1 and you can improve from there. And try not to over optimize before folks are really reading it, because otherwise we could spend much more time than it makes sense to, if that made any sense. All right, so let's go back to this thing. How do I split it? Tig, help me. I could check it. I mean, I don't know if I'll use it, but it doesn't hurt, right? So yeah, sure, do it. Wait, I used the wrong key. 2 minutes, no pressure at all. If I try to unstage this, it will not work because I'm not in the commit, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. And I know I can do it, but I don't know how. Okay, thank you. I'll check it later after I do the next call and this pull request, I guess. Oh, power is back. My power is back. I have the power. I have the power, and my neck is awful, but I have power. Yeah. So this is where I'm stuck, trying to figure things out. I still have a few minutes. I'll have to go back there. I did it yesterday, and here I am again trying to split commit. Again and again and again. This is my most searched term, I think. Oh well. Without creating a branch and doing a bunch of funky work on a new branch, is it possible to break as a yes? It is. Yes, that's what I keep forgetting. It's git reset head. And then I just want a single commit. I think yes, that is it. Now I can open Tig, and I'll have the changes. Oh, but that's just for the other one. That's not where I want it, but I got it. Okay. 4 minutes. I won't be able to stop it. Where am I? Oh, because I all right. I suppose I add it now. Let's do it through Tig because it's much oh no, I dislike this. I'll do a git rebase abort because I don't want to have. How are things now? Okay. Let's first just rebase this. 3 minutes. I'll have to stop. I'll have to stop and finish this later because I don't want to be late for the call. I'm trying to follow what you were. Yeah, well, I won't mention the amount of times I got letters messed up and then I read things wrongly because of that. And yeah, sometimes I think we are just tired and then it's time to take a break. So maybe when that happens with you, take some break, rest your eyes a bit, and then you go back. And sometimes my hands are cold and then I type wrongly many times. Maybe that's what's going on with you. Just try to understand when that happens. If it's too often, maybe it's just too hard to keep up with lots of different I forgot the word, different abbreviations. Okay, so I have 1 minute to go to the call. I'll drop this now. Rain executable. I wouldn't mind some rain executed right now. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sort of helping me focus. See you later. And now I have to drop because I have 1 minute to be in the call. Bye.